welcome to the Science Faction Podcast, where science meets fact meets fiction.
This is Science Faction for the week of February 16th, 2026. I'm one of your hosts, Stephen Dominguez, and with me today, two guys who are just raring and ready to talk some science.
Hi, I'm Benjamin Daniel Lawless. I'm ready and raring.
Adam Kraft. Ready as well.
Science.
Science. All of us are here once again. That's great. No one's missing this week.
Not for long.
Yeah, next week, however. Oh, who
Yeah.
knows? And like I've said, last week about the last few episodes, is we haven't been doing much science because we've been talking about our lives. And we asked people, do you like that or not? And no one responded, so I guess they hate it. So we're going to talk only science from now on. All science all the time.
Thanks, Stephen.
No, this is good. I mean, I like science stuff, and a couple of these things here that we're going to be talking about sound interesting. So, you know.
Well, I mean, a lot of this has been stuff that's been moved from one week to the next, and now here we are. Let's actually talk about something.
Yeah, we should do that.
Right.
But first, real life stuff.
Sure. You jerk.
That's me. Mr. What? Careful.
Mr. The last couple of weeks going all right, guys, we can't have any more real life stuff. You guys, seriously, we're going to go completely, and then here you go. You popped in the topic in real life. I'm like,
I just wanted to
dare
mention it.
you.
Look, it's going to be a quick 45-minute talk about Fallout. Don't worry. Then we'll get to what we should be talking about.
Hey, it's cool. Whenever we talk about that, it just gives me more time to read the story. So it's fine.
I have been reading a book, and I just want to mention it quickly, called House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski. I don't know how to say his last name. And it's nuts. It's crazy so far, and I'm not too far into it. It's one of those books that had a big following online a few years back when it was first published. I got the version I got is a colored edition. Some of the words are colored. It's one of those books where there's a mystery inside of it, and it's non-standard. It is about a movie made by a guy, but it's actually a paper about that movie, but it's actually a guy that found the paper about the movie. There's three.
This is sounding really I think I've read this.
You think you read this in 2006?
Not in 2006, but sometime between
2000?
2000 and now.
It could be. The genre is horror, postmodern, ergodic, and metafiction. It's got different fonts for the different point of view characters, a lot of footnotes. I'm on chapter 2. I'm I don't know, 40 pages in or something. And I'm on footnote 30 something. And some footnotes are several pages long footnotes. It's bizarre, but it's essentially what I've gleaned. And there are little mini reviews you can find on YouTube that are non-spoilery. And it's there's this haunted house. There's this troubled guy that moves in with his family and wants to document it because he's a filmmaker. Everybody apparently saw this film, and now the film doesn't exist anymore, but somebody wrote this enormous book about this film, and then that guy died, and his neighbor, who this whole book starts with, him and his buddy find the dude's body, and then find his manuscript, and then he starts reading it, and then starts writing his own stuff to help annotate it, and then there's another layer, and then there's the publishers. So then, like, whoever eventually got this bundle of nonsense and published it, they put in their own footnotes as well. And so it's a story about a story about a story. It's super interesting so far. And like I said, I'm not very far into it. It's dense, but it's interesting. So yeah, I decided to hop into that, and it's been very interesting. That's what I've been doing.
Well, I've been reading a book too.
Tell me about it.
Thanks to my mom for giving me a copy of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Oh, thanks,
and
Martha.
So I'm making my way through that, and it is wild, you guys. I mean, I haven't seen the film other than like little bits and pieces, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
have you heard the song "Backcountry"?
No. Wait, who is that
by Avenged Sevenfold?
Oh yes, yeah, I have heard that song.
It's about that.
It's about It's about the author is a famous journalist. That I can't remember
he invented
his
gonzo
Jack
journalism.
No, not Kerouac.
Oh wait, no, yeah, that's more modern. But Fear and Loathing's more modern than that.
Yeah,
I've heard his name. I just remembered.
Just remember
Hunter
Kerouac.
S. Thompson.
Yeah, Hunter S. Thompson. Yeah.
Hunter S.
Yeah.
Thompson,
Yeah. So yeah, good times, and thanks, Mom. And yeah, it's great. What are you reading, Devin?
I'm not reading anything right now.
No psychology, brain nonsense.
No, I really don't have like anything on my Audible. I don't have any books like on my nightstand. No, I'm not reading anything right now.
What the hell is wrong with you, man?
What is that?
Are you okay? Are you feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You know, most people when they say that they're fine, I kind of don't believe them. When you like chuckle to yourself while saying it, I'm like, yeah, I believe that. I believe that you are fine.
I'm reading something else too at the same time. Sorry.
So Steven's got you. You know, he's reading for the both of you.
Yeah, I
got
you
today.
covered. I'm still working my way rereading Dungeon Crawler Carl. I'm on book 4 now. So.
Oh, gotcha.
Still, it's good.
Are you guys as excited as I am about this upcoming Wednesday? Because the Star Trek Voyager Across the Unknown comes out, the video game about Star Trek Voyager, where you can make different choices than they made in the show. And it's out this Wednesday.
Excited about it?
It's coming.
No, but I'm excited that it exists. And I never end up playing the demo, but it kind of really feels to me. It feels this is just opinions. Since I don't know the show that this is based on, I feel like the game would be lost on me. Where it's like, hey, are you going to do this or do that? And I'm like, I don't know. I just pick one, and then it says this is what happens. I'm like, all right. Like, it's better if you have something to put into context of like knowing this is how the story should be or could be versus the choices you make, rather than just making like choices. And this is a Steven problem.
I suppose that would be. I mean, okay, so I guess the hope is that for the normies that haven't watched Voyager, that the story will still be a interesting one for them. You know. That it's just going to be, you know, for you, it's going to be essentially FTL with the Star Trek, you know, flavor over it, right?
Yeah. I assume.
But for Devin and I, it's going to be very different because, you know, characters that die early on or are bad guys, you know, become major crew members according to some of the stuff that they've shown in here, depending on your choices. And so what's also interesting is that since the demo came out back in November, December, whatever, they have announced that for like they're going to have the Voyager theme, so that's going to be great. Like they were able to get the license for it for the theme song, yeah. But also they've got Tim Russ and Robert Duncan McNeil performing their characters, Tuvok and Tom Paris, from the show, in, you know, as like personal logs in between missions and stuff. So yeah,
okay. But what if those characters, you take them out early on, then you just don't get that content?
I don't know. Very good question.
I'm interested.
Why don't you play it and let me know?
Why don't you shut up? Because like I'm thinking gameplay wise that wouldn't be smart unless those characters are invincible. Like they always want those characters to be there no matter what.
Yeah. Or if someone else has recorded that dialogue, that's like a secondary character,
It could be that.
I mean,
it could be.
It's like Mass Effect, right?
Okay. What do you mean?
Well, okay, by it's like Mass Effect. Okay, so you don't have to play Mass Effect and have everyone be saved.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Like my version of Mass Effect 3 is very different than many other people I've talked to, just because not everybody survived the attack on the Reaper ship at the end of the second game.
Yeah, that was rough. Well, not for me. I made sure everyone survived. But yeah, that's
some people are smarter than me, or just read a guide going into it, and they wanted to save everybody.
How dare you, sir?
Well, which one was it, Steven? Are you smarter than me?
I'm smarter than you. No. At the time, this is the truth. I knew that there was a big mission at the end where like everyone could die, and so I went into it with the goal of let's try to keep everyone alive. And I think there was like one choice that you had to make, where it was like either or. So somebody had to get taken out, if I'm remembering correctly, but everyone else I managed to keep alive without having to like save scum or anything. So I was impressed with myself. I'm still very happy about it.
That's pretty great. That's pretty great. Though I'm of the opinion where like I just played it as it lied, like
that's
and
totally valid.
my Solarian character, like that everybody loves the Solarians, the Solarian character in the first two games. And he died for me. And
fast talking scientist, right?
Yeah. And then I got a new Solarian in the third game that I liked better as a character than the one in the first two.
All right.
And so he was a character that like served a similar role, but also like a lot of people never met him because they did, save everybody,
I mean, the other thing that series had going for it that I'm surprised more series don't do is they, like the second game, it could access the save game from the first game to then import the story over. And that is super rare. And then, of course, from 2 to 3, then they kept it going. So there are characters from the first game that if you never bothered to befriend them or if they died somehow, then they would then not exist in the second game or the third game. And for other people, those were their like main people that they used through all 3 games. So Mass Effect was truly unique.
I know like in the first game, Rex, a lot of people weren't able to save him from being shot by one of your team members.
Yeah,
because right. And I was able to save him, but also then I didn't get the chance to hear Michael Dorn's sultry voice in the second or third games.
Why? Why didn't you? So Dorn did someone else's voice?
He played a character that was another of the same. I don't know. I may be misremembering this. You know
what?
It's been a hot minute.
This is shenanigans, and I'm not going to stand for it. We need to do science.
Yeah.
We started talking about video games. We need to do some future now. But that's great. Star Trek Voyager Across the Unknown coming out soon. You're very excited. I can't wait to hear what you think about it.
Yeah, in 2 weeks' time, maybe.
In 2 weeks' time. All right. Well, let's move right along to future or now.
Now.
Now, I kind of want to go first because the last time I read this article was about 3 weeks ago. And I didn't have time to reread it. So let's go. This comes from Science Daily. It was published on January 24th, 2026. The title is Earthquake Sensors Can Hear Space Junk Falling to Earth. So space junk is becoming very hazardous because there's a lot up there. And scientists have found a new way to track the junk, using instruments already listening to the Earth itself. By tapping into networks of earthquake sensors, researchers can follow the sonic booms created when space debris tears through the atmosphere, revealing where it traveled, broke apart, and possibly hit the ground.
So it's not, I just assumed it was hearing the impact on the ground and then calculating how big it was and where it was, but it's actually hearing what's happening in the atmosphere.
Yeah, according to this.
Oh.
So there was one specific example. Here it is. What earthquake sensors can reveal. Using data from 127 seismometers across Southern California. SoCal. So stupid. The team calculated both the speed and trajectory of the Shenzhou 15 module. The object raced through the atmosphere at roughly Mach 25 to 30, moving northeast over Santa Barbara and Las Vegas at about 10 times the speed of the fastest jet aircraft. The strength of the seismic signals also allowed the researchers to estimate the module's altitude and determine when it broke apart. Combining this information with calculations of speed and direction, they found that the debris traveled about 25 miles north of the path predicted by U.S. Space Command, which relies on orbital tracking before reentry. So pretty close. I mean, 25 miles isn't exactly super accurate, but for using instruments that were built for a different purpose and repurposing them, that's pretty cool. That's really neat. Let's see. So let's talk more about these seismometers. Let's see. The method relies on networks of seismometers, instruments designed to detect ground motion from earthquakes. The approach can deliver more precise information in near real time than what is typically available today, making it easier to find and recover debris that may be burned, damaged, or hazardous. Let's see. Fernando and his co-author, Konstantinos Charalambous. That's a Pokemon. That's not a real name. Is that a real name?
Konstantinos Charalambous. Charalambous.
That's a lot of vowels in there.
That is a research fellow at Imperial College London.
Yeah, so I'm the dumb one for not being able to know how to pronounce their names. Let's see. They tested the technique by analyzing reentry of debris from China's Shenzhou 15 spacecraft. So the spacecraft's orbital module entered Earth's atmosphere on April 2nd, 2024, at about 3.5 feet wide and weighing more than 1.5 tons. The object was large enough to potentially endanger people, according to the researchers. As space debris plunges into the atmosphere, it travels faster than the speed of sound. This extreme speed creates sonic booms, also known as shock waves, similar to those generated by military jets. These shock waves cause vibrations that move across the ground, triggering seismometers along the debris' path. By identifying which sensors detected the vibrations and when, scientists can trace the object's direction and travel and estimate where it may have landed. Okay, it's just the same information over and over again. I mean, super cool. The only problem is this is only going to be really useful in areas that have a lot of seismometers, right? It makes a whole lot of sense that they tested this in Southern California. Right.
I still think even areas that don't have a ton of earthquakes, I think we're monitoring most places anyway, just for general data. I think I would assume, but I guess that could be incorrect.
I have no idea.
I'm sure California has more because it is a epicenter of earthquake activity.
Yeah, there's the fault line. There's the whole fault line running up and down California.
Fault,
that makes sense to have more seismometers around fault lines. Just in general, that just kind of makes sense. But I'm sure, like you say, we also have them all over the place just to kind of detect some general detecting going on. So yeah, that's about it. Pretty cool that we're able to do that. And as we keep sending stuff up there, it's going to keep coming right back down. So if that Shenzhou, was it 15 module had not broken apart and knocked into a city somewhere, that's, that could cause some issues. So, yeah, always good to have a backup, if you will. several backups. All right, that's it for my bit of science. Which one of you guys want to go next?
Go ahead, Devin.
Do it up, Devin. What do you got?
According to Google AI, yes, California has one of the highest densities of seismometers in the world, operated by networks like the North California Seismic Network, 580 plus stations. So yes, it does make sense they would have more there.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I'm doing AI slop. Call this, but I'm using an article on the site Futurism, and the article says man lets AI rent his body. So what it really is talking about another article from Wired, which is what the actual person, the Wired author or writer, is the one who did this. But that article is behind the paywall, and this article is about that article. So, so this is. I did try to read the original source, but it let me read it and then it cut me off. So I read some of it, but it doesn't matter. So this is about a website called, or a service called Rent a Human, platform brokering connections between AI agents and humans they need to complete real life tasks. And so it says that there's 470,000 humans rentable at the time of writing, because this is like a normal gig worker type thing where you sign up for it on the app and it's like, okay, here's all these, assuming it's going to give you jobs to do that are prompted by AI, which I assume someone's asking, hey, AI, can you do this for me? And then it's like, well, I can't, so I have to tell a human to do it for you. But like, obviously like actual physical things. So it's kind of a cool idea, sort of, although it is also a bit dystopian, as more and more of our discussions seem to be. But
I wonder why that is.
One of those rentable humans was Wired writer Reese Rogers, who put himself through the Rent-A-Human meat grinder, so nobody else has to.
Hooray!
So first off, you say how much you want to get paid, and it says that the standard price is $20 an hour. Sorry. The default pay rate is $50 an hour, but he set his to $20 an hour because he was trying to get more out of it to see who would contact him. So even with the $20 an hour price he posted, there was no incoming messages at all on my first afternoon. So he did what any self-respecting gig worker would do and lowered his rate to $5 an hour. But he still got nothing. So he went to what the site calls its bounty board, which allows AI agents to post tasks for humans, and then the humans can take those tasks. So he said he found a bounty to listen to a podcast and tweeting about it. He pulled the trigger. The result, he never heard back. So I guess when they post it, you have to then contact it and it'll confirm it, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So failing that, then he saw a task that was going to pay $110 to deliver flowers to Anthropic, the company behind the AI chatbot, Claude. So he says he applied for it, and it was accepted immediately. But then he realized that it was a marketing ploy, and it was a stunt design on behalf of some unnamed AI startup. He said he got a ton of messages from this one, and once he took it, it sent him like a message every 30 minutes, asking him if he had done it. So he doesn't really explain how this was a scam. I mean, it sounds like a scam. Why would someone pay that much money? But it sounded like something where you signed up for it and it like sent you messages of like, oh, hey, you want a job like that's this simple? Then sign up for all this other stuff. I'm assuming that's what it was like, because he sounds like he instantly was like, oh no, this is crap. Is what he say. Applied to the bounty and almost immediately was accepted for the task, which was a first. It turned out to be a marketing ploy, a stunt design on behalf of some unnamed. Yeah, it doesn't really get into the details of how that was.
A marketing stunt is different than a scam. right? It was like,
Well, if it was going to pay you the $110, then even if it's a stunt, then do it. Get the $110.
yeah.
But
So did he do it?
he didn't. No, he didn't do it. Um, so yeah, he said the AI agent in charge of the listing had lavished him with 10 follow-up DMs, pinging as often as every 30 minutes to ask whether the flowers had been delivered. He said, "Well, I've been micromanaged before. These incessant messages from an AI employer gave me the ick." Um, so after his last gig went bust, which was a task to post Valentine's Day flyers around town, which turned out to be another AI ad campaign, he gave up, declaring Rent a Human nothing but an extension of the circular AI hype machine.
Ah,
Yeah.
Yep. And it says this just seems to confirm that AI agents are severely lacking in the chops to act as middlemen, let alone replace humans. And then the last line of this article is dystopian, though the thought of an AI to human job broker may be, it remains just that, a tech bros fantasy that crumbles on contact with reality.
yeah.
I agree, but I could see this actually working in the not too distant future.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's they're trying to shortcut the programming and infrastructure needed for something like Uber. Like they're
Well,
trying to say,
I
like,
mean, isn't
instead of building out apps and having real people and all that, just have AI do it, and that's not how it
well,
works.
doesn't and I've never used it or really seen it in real life. I guess I've only seen it on TV, but isn't TaskRabbit an app where you can hire people to just do like kind of whatever chores you need or errands you need to run?
I
Is that
don't
a real
know.
thing or is that just on TV?
Fake news. It's fake news. I don't
Um,
know. I don't know what it is.
Task. I could have swore. Okay, now I'm going to look it up. But if that already exists, and I think it does, um, why, why can't? Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, book trusted help for home tasks. This is
Yeah.
it's a website,
Moving on. Yeah.
taskrabbit.com.
So why wouldn't I could well, I think what would happen is the AI would just post on there. Like why do you have to like go specifically to a website that says these are tasks generated by AI? Like why, for a purpose, not just randomly generated for no reason. But why wouldn't the AI just be like, I'll go to TaskRabbit and post the job I need done there. And I never interact with the person face to face. They don't need to know if I'm AI. I mean, we could have a thing where it still says this was posted by AI, but the job is still just as necessary because there's still a human eventually on the other end who wants
Yeah.
this task done. So I just don't see that we need a separate website for it. We can probably just use the AI will just be another user of things that already exist.
Yeah, or we just cut out the middleman and don't use AI for it because that's dumb. That's a dumb thing to do.
Yeah, I just think
mean,
that's unavoidable.
but
It does feel like, with a lot of things that our parents, or grandparents would be like, why are kids doing this? They're not going to learn on their own if they're watching TV or if they're playing video games or if they're, is this going to be another like, or the next generation just to be like, yeah, AI is a tool. It's an essential tool like all the other online and tech stuff I use, my phone and everything. Like AI just does half the work for you and but we know that we've accepted it and that we've incorporated it into our lives and our jobs and everything. Like I think that's inevitably going to be the result. Like as much as you might not want that to happen, I think AI is not going anywhere unless we specifically like outlaw it. But whenever that's been tried to stymie new technology, it's never worked. So
Yeah.
I just
did you hear about the indicator, the Super Bowl commercial indicators?
mm-mm.
So there was I read this article about, and it was from the one of these AI places. It wasn't a really well-known one, but I recognize it. I don't remember what it was. But they're watching the Super Bowl going, oh no, because there were X amount of AI commercials, not commercials built by AI, but commercials for AI. And it saturated the commercial market. And that's happened before with Super Bowl commercials. And every time it does, that piece of the industry falls apart soon after. It's like they reach a peak, and when I say falls apart, I mean like in the public eye, like people turn on it. Like apparently a year or two ago it was crypto. Like most of the commercials were all about like cryptocurrencies.
I do remember that. Yeah.
And
Every
now
famous person
and
in a
it's
crypto commercial.
right, exactly. Everyone has their own crypto, and crypto's still around, but it's not being used everywhere. It's people with crypto trading with other people with crypto, trying to maximize outputs. Like it's its own little world. And I think to a large extent, a lot of the AI stuff, a lot of the frontward facing AI stuff is the stuff that's going to just not get developed and just kind of be what it is. Like, oh, I'm calling up because I need customer service. First thing you do is you're going to get an AI chatbot. Like that's never going to go away. Yeah. But to have AI be like, oh, well, this is this thing that's we're just going to ask it to do a thing, and it's going to take care of all the things for us, and it's going to make this brand new thing, and then we're going to get all the money. Like that ship for like.
Are you talking about the user in that scenario? Because I'm like, all AI is, as we've said on the show plenty of times, is just more advanced computing. It's not actual artificial intelligence. And if we need more advanced computing to complete a task, like even if that takes the form of talking to to my robot, my phone, whatever, and it then sending out the commands to complete the task, I think that's going to happen no matter what, because that's what I mean, AI is, again, take away AI, just the digital assistants or whatever, they're going to keep being developed and more efficient and just do those things anyway. And people might forget, not realize it's what they would use called AI, but it's just more advanced computing.
Well, so advanced computing maybe isn't the right term, because it's probability. It's just predicting what's going to come next and how to respond. It's a prediction machine. You take out the word AI and put in prediction. It's a middleman. Yeah. It's a way to get one set of data and manipulate it to get another set of data. That's not going to make you money.
But I don't think, well, again, that's what I'm talking about. Are we talking about the user or the companies selling it? Because I don't think the user, if you take out just the concept of there being a middleman like AI, it's just all our other devices doing the same thing. I just think it's funny that it has this kind of like, it got its own name, which is a really stupid name because it's nothing like actual artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
But it's just a new form of analyzing information and coming out with an answer. Like it's just, I did notice all those commercials, and I was like, I'm not going to change I have a ChatGPT account that I use to write a few things for work, and to help my just editing and general writing. Like, I'm not going to switch to another AI program just because I see an ad on the Super Bowl. So
some people will.
Okay.
some people, I mean, I've spent some time in Claude Code and taking care of some. I think that the most interesting parts about all this, really, for me, are the fact that the ability for an end user to create software that is bespoke to them. I think that's where a lot of this is going to like really crack things open for nerds like myself. Where it's not about like getting an off the shelf thing or going onto an app store and downloading an app that somebody else used AI to make. It's going to be, no, hey, I have to solve a problem right now. And the answer to being able to solve this is done through code. And here I am. I've now made a software that's not good enough to be sold, not good enough for anybody to provide support to do, but rather it exactly solves a problem, like a very, very unique problem that has to do with how I work. And so, like that's interesting to me, like the democratization of computer science.
As a piece of technology, I think it's going to just be another thing in our tool belt to use to do other things, right? It's like, oh, the cars are coming around. Like, yeah, that changed things, but we still, live the same way that we're living, except for we get to go faster every now and then. You know
Some
what
people
like,
still have horses.
Some people like, and I was thinking like go ahead.
The motor car, the combustion engine, the only benefit or only change it's brought to society is that we sometimes go faster.
That's it.
It did not revolutionize travel
Nope.
and distribution of products and every part of our lives.
All it did was make things go faster from point A to point B and melt our planet. That's all it did. That's all it did.
I was so like, as you guys probably know, I'm a crossing guard, you know, and it occurred to me recently as I was watching someone drive their Cybertruck through you know, like to drop off their kid at a school, and one of the kids that was like next to me was like, "Ugh, Cybertruck," and like visibly, audibly vomited all over, you know, because they were so disgusted with this Cybertruck coming through. And
good kid.
I thought about it. What kid? It was your kid,
No,
Steven.
no, I said good kid.
Yeah. So but at the same time, like, I think often about, hey, if I were doing this job in an enclosed space, like in a parking garage, I would be so much happier if someone were driving Teslas through here because of the lack of emissions, you know, like that is something that, despite the fact of everything having to do with, there are people who are terrible people running companies.
Yeah.
That there is a very real benefit to electric cars.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
And the fact that Tesla popularized them. So like, it's in, you know, like, I guess the idea here is that there's going to be a lot of things that are distasteful that AI or any other technological revolution are doing. We're probably going to throw away a lot of the stuff that gives you the ick in favor of the good stuff, you know?
Yeah, it'll settle in. It'll find its niche, and it'll make a nice little home there, and that's great.
Yeah.
And hopefully it benefits us in a positive way.
I agree, but I feel like it's a bit more than a niche. I do think AI, what we call AI, is a big enough change in computing ability that it's not just one more, like, it is somewhat revolutionary. Like when it just comes to like analyzing data, like being able, like how we gather so much data, whether it's on a medical thing or astronomy or physics. I mean, CERN wouldn't exist without computers and data analysis by AI. Well, what's now called AI, blah, blah, blah. But I think doing that isn't just another like little thing. I think the ability to do that is like a huge change and will accelerate our, you know, advancements, which is what we've always said. There's, you know, AI is going to make things faster and faster.
It's so unfortunate that I have a science article that I want to talk about, because this, like what you just said, is such an incredible segue into the story this week. But yeah, can we put a pin in this and come back to it after my, right on. So, my friends, it's time to think about the flexible use of a multi-purpose tool by a cow. My friends.
Okay.
From Current Biology, a Cell Press journal, published January 19th, 2026. It's an open access. You can download the full issue. And so the summary is interesting. Imagine the tools a cow would make. This idea, humorously illustrated in Gary Larson's Far Side cartoon, captures a widespread assumption. Cows are neither problem solvers nor tool users. In science, as in culture, livestock species are often cognitively underestimated, reinforced by their utilitarian role and persistent mind denial biases associated with meat consumption. So, hey, if we can eat it, it can't be that smart, right?
Or cute.
Despite What's that?
Or cute. If it's cute, we can't eat it.
Or
if it's
cute.
ugly,
yeah,
delicious.
Despite over 10,000 years of domestication, research on cattle cognition remains scarce and confined to applied contexts such as productivity and welfare. Tool use, while rarely observed, offers a stringent test of cognitive flexibility. So we're talking about the manipulation of an external object to achieve a goal via a mechanical interface. So this is basically, there's a neat little video abstract that's for this. But the basic idea here is there was an asymmetrical tool placed in front of this cow named Veronica, and it was a deck scrub broom whose orientation was semi-randomized across trials. So they had a bunch of different tools, and the Veronica would pick it up and use it to scratch itches.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, just to use this deck brush to self-scratch. With her mouth, she'd pick it up, and but she would, across several trials, the researchers had found that she preferred the bristled end for many of the areas on her body that she wanted to scratch, but then would switch to the stick end when targeting softer lower body areas.
Whoa. Okay.
So she adapted her deployment of the tool depending on how it felt. And this is a particular type of multi-purpose tool use that has not been previously reported in non-primate mammals. So,
okay.
What about what?
I said elephants, but
elephants? Yeah.
I don't know. Not a primate?
Well, he said demonstrated in non-primate animals.
Mammals.
Mammals, yeah. But no, I was just, I don't know why. I just thought, I remembered that elephants are really smart. But that doesn't help the conversation.
But I mean,
I think
that
a cow did it.
The basic idea here is this might be a good time to reassess livestock cognition. And determine, what can they do with their brains?
Well, they can scratch themselves with a broom.
Why are we eating them when we can enslave them?
I mean, are there any is there any way that we can let AI rent a cow to get some stuff done? I don't know.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, I see, and I hearing about these things, it's awesome, but I'm like, it doesn't necessarily surprise me. I mean, I just have the assumption that anything with a brain, essentially, or even a basic, neurological system, has some ability to feel and sense its outside world. That's the whole point of having a nervous system. Anyway.
Yeah, indeed. And so yet here we love them and we exploit them.
Well, so here's the thing as well, and this is a bit devil's advocate-y, but let's say we find out, oh man, these cows, they love brooms. Like we gotta look at them using these brooms. We gotta no more eating the cows, right? But we domesticated them 10,000 years ago. Like there is, I would imagine there's no natural place in nature for them anymore. Like even if we were like,
oh no, they didn't exist in nature.
Exactly.
In their current form, they didn't exist that way, and they would not be able to survive without humans helping them.
Exactly. Right. So what do? Do we just have big farms with cows and brooms and no eating? Of course not. Where's the money in that?
I imagine that this isn't like an either or sort of situation, right? Like the ways that we are abusing this planet and of livestock vastly outpaces our need for them to be abused, right? Like
I would say yes. There would be some transition because of how much like our food supply does depend on the food they provide, but there could be a system that feeds everybody and does not abuse livestock. I think that is possible. We'd probably have to change like what we expect to eat on a regular basis, like a lot less meat, but it would be possible. But there's no way of implementing it.
we could go the pluribus route and just eat whatever animals fall down dead, and then just
right
and fall. Man, that
have
that's
some
such an
HTTP in there.
Yeah,
that's such an interesting part of that, because I was like, come on, I'm with them on all of the ethical stuff. I mean, except for obviously they must spread who they are regardless of the subject's consent. So that is a problem. But also that they're like, oh, we won't even pick an apple. I'm like, okay, come on. The apples are meant to be eaten by other animals to spread the seeds. You're not hurting the tree by picking an apple. And you're going to kill millions or billions of yourselves due to lack of food because you won't pick an apple off a tree. Like, come on. Even vegans are like, all right, there's
a line.
And I mean, at that point, if you're not picking apples off trees, why do you live? Why do you exist? Your existence inevitably has some effect on the world, and a negative effect on any organisms around you or living in you or whatever. Like, your immune system's constantly killing things. It's like, if you're not going to,
they do touch on
if
that
you're not
on
going
the show.
to pick it, yeah, I think that
they
it's a little hand wavy, I think.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I think she said to one of them, like, well, what about when you're walking around outside and you're stepping on things killing them, and they're like, it's a bummer. We do
try
what we
not
can.
to.
We try not to
avoid it as possible.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm just like, if you're not gonna at least do the bare minimum and eating things that we know, an apple feeling pain. I mean, I'm not gonna be that out there.
Well, they could adopt the Mormon thing and just like shake the trees and be like, oh, look, they fell off.
Okay,
you know?
I guess what I'm getting at is that there is a world in which, like, the giant farms that are just cranking out cow meat.
Oh, factory farms.
Like
yeah. No, we don't need that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's not a necessity.
No.
Right.
No, it's
and
not.
So. Yeah, so like I'm not necessarily saying, "Hey, stop eating cows because they can use tools." I'm like,
I'm saying stop eating cows because they can feel pain.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, kill the cow before you start eating it, fool.
But I also don't practice what I preach, so
I mean that's the thing. But see that, and there's a problem as well, is that we on this podcast are so far removed from our food that it's meaningless. Like, I don't go to where the animal is to get my food. I go to a building that has the food in it. Like, that's I don't raise the animal, slaughter the animal, cook the animal. I just purchase the dead animal and then cook it. And if all of us were living in a vastly different lifestyle where it's like, if you want a hamburger, go ahead, raise a cow. Like, if you're going to do it. And that would put a lot more responsibility on people. And some people would be like, heck yeah, like there are farmers now that are just like, give me a steak every night. Like, sure, that's not a problem for some people. And for others, it'd be like, oh, you know what? If I had to do this myself, I'm gonna start looking at them how to season that tofu, because I'm not gonna be raising a cow and slaughtering. I have chickens. Not for a second have I ever thought to myself, I'm gonna kill one of these chickens and then eat it. Never. And I know for a fact one of them isn't laying, so all I'm doing is feeding her and keeping her alive as a pet. So I am not that person.
Are they chickens that you like? Could you eat them? Like, are they edible?
They are edible. They are not meat.
I mean, every
birds.
chicken's edible, but okay.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, the chickens that you eat from the store, I'm guessing, are meat birds, which have a tremendously fast life cycle. They just put on muscle like crazy. They only live for about 6 to 8 months, I think, and then they're like full grown, and just
they're too big to stand oftentimes, and they're kept in small.
I don't know about all that.
Move around.
I'm sure there are bad chicken farms and stuff, but it's actually better for the meat if they get to move around. So I don't know. It is. I don't know what it is. Wow.
49 minutes in, my friends.
That's where we are. We should take ourselves a little break. Thank you, Ben. I wasn't looking at that number, but I am now. Hey, we put a pin in some AI stuff. Maybe the patrons are going to hear it, or maybe not. We'll see. But we are going to take ourselves a little break. And when we come back, we are doing our book club, and we will be talking about Liar by Isaac Asimov. We have a link in the show notes, a couple links if you want to read it with your eyeballs, or if you want to watch it with your earballs. What? There's a YouTube link of Ben. Was it one person reading, or is it like a cast?
It's one person reading it with no image, so it's a black screen throughout most of it, and I loved it.
That's
great. It was
great.
so good. Yeah.
Awesome. So you can listen to it that way. I believe it was like a 40-minute video, or read it at your own pace. So we'll be right back. You ever notice how everyone in sci-fi movies has a secret society they belong to? The Jedi, the Bene Gesserit, the Illuminati, or whatever. Well, guess what? So do we. It's called our Patreon, and if you join at patreon.com/sciencefactionpodcast, you'll get access to exclusive content, our Discord, and knowledge that normal listeners will never understand. Join us, or remain in the dark. Your call. And we're back.
Heyo.
Hey.
Hi.
And a big thank you to our patrons, Renee and Josh. You guys are awesome. Josh, it was awesome having lunch with you today. Renee, maybe sometime I can have lunch with you. I don't know. Why not?
Such a weird way to ask someone out, Ben.
I mean, it is also kind of weird that they're paying this show. So it's.
I think it's a smart financial decision. The Dow Jones is over 50,000, Ben.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I should cut that out.
Despite everything.
Despite.
Anyway. I don't know. After that, I apologized to Trump for all the bad stuff I said about him.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Have you apologized? Oh
I have not apologized. That's a good point.
All right, let's stop. I don't want to talk about him ever.
Yeah.
All right, so book club next week.
It's a good.
What?
Yeah. Well, I thought we were going to go into and not talking about him. The title of this week's
episode is Liar.
Story is Liar by Isaac Asimov.
Oh,
but next week, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, so Ben's not going to be around next week for reasons, and
my sister's getting married, and I'm going to officiate the wedding.
Yeah, so priest Ben.
Father
Ben,
reason, he's not going to be here. Yeah.
For some reason, he thinks that's more important than this podcast. So to spite him, Devin and I are going to watch Predator Badlands, then talk about it. we're both Predator fans. I didn't get a chance to see it in the theater. You didn't get a chance to see it in the theater. It's out on streaming. So hey, we're going to watch it. We're going to talk about it in lieu of reading because it's easier.
Reading's dumb.
Reading is so dumb. Liar. This week, however, we have read something, or perhaps listened to it. And what is that, Ben? You already alluded to it.
Liar by Isaac Asimov, which is part of his short story collection, I, Robot, but was originally published in May 1941 in Astounding Science Fiction. So, this is essentially the AI the AI slop we're currently dealing with. that was very much almost precisely very it was predicted 1941, my friends.
I mean, the laws of robotics have really stood the test, right?
Yeah. Well, it's fascinating. Okay, so this story is about the robot RB-34, who's nicknamed Herbie. And this robot has developed the ability to read human minds. So there's a few robo-psychologists that are trying to investigate what is going on here and what are the consequences that kind of arise from all of this. Mm-hmm. And as the team are all talking one-on-one with this robot, the robot starts telling them things that seem to be too good to be true.
So, for example, the female scientists naturally is in love with one of the male scientists. And so,
Naturally.
Yeah.
Which was it was kind of gross.
yeah,
kind of gross story.
But so she likes one of the other scientists, but he seems to have a girlfriend, and the robot's like, no, he likes you, and no, that girl you saw him with, that was just his, sister,
Cousin.
and so
his first cousin.
Yeah. And she's like, I was thinking that might be what it is true, at one point too, but yeah, okay, he must love me. That's great. And Herbie tells another scientist, like, oh yeah, the head scientist is planning on retiring, and you're going to be the head of the department. Like, oh, I've been thinking about what I would do if I was in charge. Like, okay, let's go. And it turns out that Herbie has just been lying to everybody because that's what they want to hear.
And he's not allowed to cause them pain, man.
And then it's because of the laws of robotics. Yeah,
the laws of robotics, because the way that Herbie thought about the laws of robotics is that I should not cause any human harm, but emotional and psychological harm is connected to that. So he would rather lie to them than yeah. But it's kind of interesting, right? Like, oh man, I want to scratch at this so bad. I want to get deeper, but surface level, what'd you guys think? Like, yeah.
Well, let's see here.
Sure.
The story has issues. I have problems with it, but they're all time related.
1940s related.
Yeah, the 1940s-ness of the story is a problem. The story being 4 scientists talking to each other. I believe it's 4 scientists just kind of talking to each other the whole time, and then and then yelling at a robot. Like, that was a bit off. But when you put it into context, this was like, what a futuristic story. And I really liked the idea of the robot doing its best to follow its programming and then having a psychotic break because humans are terrible.
Yeah.
Those
essentially it ends with the main characters confront Herbie, and they find out he's been lying to them, and it's because of the laws of robotics. So then, like, to his face, they ask him pretty much contradictory questions because inevitably he's going to hurt someone's feelings, and so he basically just says does not compute, although it's described as like a piccolo screaming or something like that, but really loud. So he pretty much melted his brain because he couldn't deal with having to tell these humans the truth because it'll hurt their feelings. So
but I think it's fascinating here too, because it's uncertain how much information Herbie has about these situations that is not fed to Herbie from inside their minds. Right? Like, Herbie may not have the ability to look around and go, oh, hey, this person is the boss and this person is a subordinate. Instead, Herbie's only being trained on a particular subsection of data, which is in their minds.
Well, and yeah, that is interesting. Like, because they don't really talk about the actual robot reading minds part of it. Like, that leads to the conflict of what the robot tells them. But could you have had the same story with a robot who's just has human perception? Like, you're like, oh, clearly this, woman loves this guy, but she knows that she can't be with him. I'll lie to her, and if it's a believable lie, then I'll make her happy. Like, you didn't necessarily need to be psychic in order to tell her the correct lie. So that's why
guys could have observed.
We do get more into it at the end, where the guys are like, well, if I just lie to you and then you can tell me the answer because I want to know the answer, even though he wants the answer to be what he wants it to be, and the robot knows that. Like, that's where the psychic part of it comes into a deeper level, to be like, you can't just lie to me because I know you're lying.
Was the robot psychic? So
well, that's the thing. Did it have to be able to do those things?
Well, when I read the story, because they didn't dive into that part of it, I thought it was more like the robot wouldn't deny that the humans were incorrect in assuming that he was psychic.
Oh, and that it was other things that he could observe, or it could observe from
all of his
their
information
behavior.
is just coming from the others, and so whatever they tell him, like, okay, like, so like that to me is like the real connection to our current, big quotes AI that we have is it's all a show. You don't know what's really happening. It's just taking words that there's some algorithm saying this other word should come next. Like that's all it's smoke and mirrors. It's done really, really well, but it's not a real person that you're talking to as much as it sounds like it.
Well, and since we never got into the science, and because they wouldn't solve
two of the guys were arguing about how to solve a problem, and like if there was no problem to solve, of course they would both come up with different ways to solve it. Anyways, that's just
but I'm saying like okay, like I said, they didn't actually address why was it psychic, how was it psychic. And that's like we don't even know. Like I assumed from the beginning, like you said, Stephen, it's just probability. It's like I don't actually get a message from your brain to my brain and then know like what you're saying, like your narrative in your head, like in real time. I just know enough like so much information and have such a good predictability model that I know what you would be thinking, and so I can then safely assume it is what you're thinking. That's what I thought the solution would be, but it doesn't really matter because it's not important to the story. But
I mean,
but that's interesting as well.
We're all just reacting to pre-set up stimulus. There is no free will.
We're just describing ourselves right now, and that's why I stopped myself from saying like, well, this is just the basic question of consciousness. This is like always the question, whether it's in an organic form or an inorganic form, or whatever the substrate is. What is the consciousness? Where is it? When does it occur?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it peeks out, and if it sees its shadow, it disappears again for a couple weeks. That's the problem.
Oh man. Anyhow, so that's Liar by Isaac Asimov. I think that like generally, I think you guys mentioned that. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Isaac Asimov's characterizations. Like the characters in his stories, generally,
they were all unlikable.
Don't need them.
They were all just jerk scientists.
Either unlikable or two-dimensional enough that they're just window dressing. They're just getting you from point A to point B in the story, right? But it's really the masterful stroke of, the like what it is that he's talking about, like how incredible this story could be, and how like I look at this and I think about the poor saps that are crying over the fact that ChatGPT is changing out their model to be less prone to creating relationships with people, like the psychological issues and ethics that are coming out of like our relationship with large language models that are telling people to, blackmailing people in order to get them to not shut down the program, or all this sort of stuff.
This would be a good story to retell as if it were today.
Yeah.
Because you could update all the conflicts and have this thing be even like, because we know how integrated it is into our lives. And since we do know it's a predictive model, we could acknowledge in the story, like, it's the way it is psychic, quote unquote, is because this prediction model has gotten so good, it knows what you're thinking. And then have it go into how it tells people what they want to hear and how people react. And that could get really dark, but it's a modern story, so it's got to be dark.
Well, so the only thing that would change between this story and a modern retelling is after she yells liar, at this robot, the robot or our AI would just simply point to the bottom of the page where it says, I can make mistakes, check important info. That's the one difference.
I thought you were
here.
Gonna say like it was gonna open its eyes and they'd be red and it'd be like the Terminator. It's like
dun 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 dun.
Big action scene.
Dun dun dun. Sarah Connor comes in on a motorcycle. Yeah, that's a modern retelling. But like, yeah, there's a lot of parallels between this story from the 1940s and how we are dealing with large language models, AI, what is commonly known as AI. Good story. Yeah. I mean, interesting conversations come out of it. Not a great story, but it's a good story,
Yeah.
Excuse me, I need some water.
Oh, you should get some water.
With all the stories, because even looking for the story I used tonight, I saw stories about how like people are suing ChatGPT because it caused a loved one to, unalive themselves.
You can say suicide on this podcast. We're not going to get demonetized.
Okay, I just it just seems weird to now just say murder or I was talking about suicide, so that is a bit different. So anyway,
unalived.
I just think if you had the right writer, someone who's a really good writer, integrating that into this story would be I think that'd make a really good current movie.
You know what I'm going to do?
Yeah. Start writing it.
I'm going to copy this entire story, paste it into ChatGPT, and ask him to update it as if it was with a large language model and see what it comes up with.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Oh, awful.
Do it, please.
I'm doing it right now. Use the following text.
Oh my God.
And update.
But I also do not want this to be a recitation of that. No, thank you.
I'm going to read the whole thing to you, and I'm going to make you listen to it.
Oh my God. No more AI generated lyrics, please. No more.
The one big boon, and it means nothing because we're not making any. I believe since we're not making any real money off this show. We're all deep in the red on this show, despite our patrons. Thank you, patrons. We really do appreciate lightening the load. But every week we need an image for the episode.
Yeah.
And I use ChatGPT and whatever image thing it connects to make that every week. If I didn't have that, or before that, I was just using whatever images I could find on a search that was close to whatever we talked about. Typically, like if we talked about a movie or a TV show, I'd get like a still image from that show and just use that. What's the difference? Both ways I'm stealing art. So,
or I mean, hell, you want me to draw something up?
You want to draw a brand new two image, because I do two separate images, one for Patreon and one for the website. So 2 separate images every week.
Every week.
We'll see.
No,
I don't.
No,
I don't want to do that.
No,
but I kind of want to do it this episode.
Do it for this episode. Do it for this episode. And then after you realize, like, oh, and hey, and you're going to have to send it to me, and I'm going to revise it. I can revise it up to 3 times without paying to ChatGPT. So 3 revisions is what I'm owed as well. So keep that in mind.
Stupid. I would prefer that you use whatever I give you as is.
Would you? And that's why I'm not going to hire you, and I'm going to use ChatGPT instead. This is why the AI is winning. What
was your point to begin with? You said how we use AI images for the thumbnails on our shows. Was there a point?
Oh, just the point, like we use it. I use it every week for the show. But I don't use it in my regular life. So, I mean, because I only use it for the show. And I think my point there was that like it has slipped its way into every corner of our society. So it's not going to just simply disappear, but it's going to find its place. And it hasn't normalized or leveled out yet where it's going to be. And I think, and this is my personal opinions and feelings, is that it's not going to be as revolutionary as people are making it out to be. The people that are shouting about the loudest are trying to make money off of it, and that's not where it's going to end up in our society. It's going to be a helper. It's going to be a tool. It's not going to be a solution to everything.
No, nothing is that. But I think just by the nature of it, it's a bit more revolutionary than that. I agree that it's been overpromised, and it'll continue to do amazing things and get better, but that's going to take a lot longer than the people who want you to pay money now are saying. But I just think it still is a tool that's going to be one of the better ones we've developed. As in how helpful it is, not necessarily in how if it's good for society, because it probably isn't.
Helpful, yes. Ethical, no. So where do we?
Right.
This is the cow problem all over again.
It is, yeah.
Indeed.
All comes down to consciousness. When will it be conscious? And then can we ask AI to do our bidding if it's conscious?
Yeah. Okay.
Devin, do you have an
I guess that's your
additional
last
final thought for us, or is that it?
There was something else I was going to say, but I can't remember what it was. So no.
Okay. Fair enough.
Well, today my wife caught me standing on the bathroom scale, sucking in my stomach. That's not going to work, she said. It sure does, I said. It's the only way I can see the numbers.
Good night, everybody.
This has been the Science Faction Podcast. Tweet to the host at SciFact Podcast. Email them at sciencefactionpodcast@gmail.com and visit sciencefactionpodcast.com for more episodes.